Let's begin by laying flat on our backs, whether that's on your yoga mat, whether that's on your bed, whether that's just on the bare floor, wherever you can find a comfortable place to lay down completely flat. Let's start there. And if it's not possible for you to lay completely flat right now, that's okay. You can find a seat. Just make sure that seat is very comfortable and make sure that you can maintain that seat without too much effort. We don't want to cause our sitting posture to bring tension to the body when we're trying to release tension from the body. So if you do have to sit up, just try to find a seat where you're supported and you don't have to do too much of the work yourself. Whether you're sitting or lying on your back, I want you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, if you're in an environment that allows you to do so. The first thing that we're going to do is just bring our awareness to our breath. We're going to notice how our breath affects our body. So what I want you to pay special attention to is the rising and the falling of your belly as you take your inhales and exhales. Just try to find whatever your natural breathing rhythm is. You don't want to go too slow. You definitely don't want to go too fast either. Just whatever is natural and comfortable for you. And then we're gently going to pull our awareness to the tips of our toes. I just want you to take some time to see what your toes feel like, to pay attention to what it feels like to have toes, as silly as that may sound. But I bet not too many of us pay our toes very much attention throughout the days. And then expand that awareness from your toes into the balls of your feet. And feel free to wiggle your toes if you feel moved to do so. Feel free to stretch them out for a little while, shake them out. And then allow them to rest. Next, we'll move our awareness a little higher into our ankle area. I know for me, I catch myself holding tension in my ankles throughout the days. So bring your awareness to this area of your body, and if you happen to find any tension there, if you're flexing your feet still, feel free to let that tension go now. Next, we'll scan the area between our ankles and our knees on both our legs. So we're just, again, bringing awareness to this area. What do we feel there? Any sensations, any warmth, any pain, any pleasure, whatever it is that you feel, just feel it. Don't judge it. Throughout this practice, whatever you feel, try not to judge it, but just feel it. And if you find tension that you want to release, just continue to breathe and allow your breath to take that tension away. Next, we're going to move our awareness to the area between our knees and our hips, our quads and our hamstrings. Another place where we might find quite a lot of tension. So if you find any tension in this area, in these areas, I invite you to relax that tension. bring our awareness a little higher into our hips, into our glutes, into our lower back, which is a major area for tension for most of us. We spend a lot of time sitting at a desk or in a chair of some sort, or if you spend a lot of time in your life contracting into yourself, then you may find a lot of tension in these areas. I know for myself personally, I hold the most tension in my hips and my lower back, for sure. So we're just going to keep breathing and allow the breath to reach these areas. And allow the breath to bring space and a sense of expansion into these areas. From here, we're going to bring our attention to our fingers. Just notice how your fingers feel today. Feel free to maybe move them one by one. Stretch out your hands and bring a little movement to your wrist. Just like we did our feet, feel free to shake out your hands for a second, and then we'll allow them to rest. Coming a little higher into our wrist. If you find any tension in your wrist, I invite you to let that tension go. Moving up our forearms into our elbows. If you find any tension there, I invite you to let that tension go. Coming up from our elbows into our shoulders, another place for major tension. A lot of us keep tension in our shoulders and we hike our shoulders up to our ears all day. You may find that this brings back pain to your upper back. So what we're going to do is roll our shoulders down and back. Allow them to hang a little bit lower. Allow the muscles in the upper neck and in the shoulders to relax completely. And let the shoulders fall down to where they naturally rest. We're going to see if we can let our breath become more expansive. We're going to see if we can let our breath become longer and deeper. In which each breath, I want you to try to bring more expansion to your upper back and shoulders. We're wanting to open this space back up. Now I want you to bring your attention to the middle of your belly in your abdominal region. And I want you to notice if you're holding any tension there. A lot of us spend most of our days sucking our stomachs in, flexing our abs, trying to make it look flatter. And while this may be aesthetically pleasing, it causes us to take shallow breaths, and it brings a lot of tension to the midsection. So right now, wherever you are, I invite you to let go of that tension in your belly. To stop flexing your abs and just breathe fully into your belly. Let your belly fully expand and let it fully contract. And let it fully expand and let it fully contract. And use your breath to create more space in your belly. I want you to bring your awareness a little higher into the center of your chest, into your heart space. This is another area where you may find lots of tension. And it can be tricky to release the tension in our hearts. It's not really a muscle like our other muscles where we can stretch, right? But I found if you just take some really deep breaths and focus on the center of your chest, if you focus on that heart area, if you focus on breathing in things that serve you and breathing out things that are weighing you down from that space, I found the breath to be a very powerful tool for removing tension from the heart. So I invite you to take some time to bring your awareness there and to allow whatever tension that needs to be released, to just let it go. You don't need it. It's not serving you. It's not helping you. It's not supporting you in any way. I bet you'll find it a lot easier to breathe if you just let go of some of the tension that you're holding in your heart area. I want you to bring your attention to your mid and upper neck. See if there's any remaining tension from our shoulders that we need to let go of there. And really allow your neck to be supported by whatever surface you're laying on, or if you're in a chair, allow your neck to be supported by your spine so the muscles in your neck aren't having to do so much work. We're going to bring our attention a little higher into our jaws, into our mouth area. If you're used to clenching your teeth, and perhaps you have some tension that you're holding in your jaws, and I invite you in this moment to release that tension, to allow your mouth to hang open just so slightly. And allow your jaw area and your mouth and your tongue to relax. And last but certainly not least, we're going to bring our attention to our mind. We're going to bring our awareness to the space in between our ears. And I want you to notice if you're holding any tension there. Now, what does tension in the mind look like? I think it looks like stress. I think it looks like anxiety. I think it looks like a lot of things. I think it can be boiled down to trying to hold on to moments that have already passed, or trying to grasp hold of moments that are yet to come. I think these are the two major movements that bring tension to the mind. And so the way that we can release tension from the mind is by just being here now, in the present moment, with our breaths and our bodies in this space, and by just allowing ourselves and everything around us to be. So I want you to take some time to just breathe and fully engage, fully expand into this current moment. invite you to stay in this space for as long as you would like to. And as you lay here, I want you to feel your body becoming increasingly relaxed. And I want you to become aware of your being becoming increasingly expansive until you feel this entire space. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today, and I hope that you found it useful, and I hope that it serves you. And I hope that you will return to this practice whenever the tensions of life ever get to be too much. And I hope that you remember that your breath is a tool that you can always use to help take the tension away. Thank you.